Puerto Rico has been taken care of better by Donald Trump than by any living human being.
The president's views about Puerto Rico have been called into question in part because of the way the president himself talks about it, not just the way his aides talk about it. I think he sort of came out okay on some of the responses to the big hurricanes in Texas, Louisiana, and even Florida, but the response to Puerto Rico has been certainly a stark contrast. Not just the number of deaths, which is now up to over 2,900, a huge disaster, but certainly the island and its infrastructure have been, decimated.
They have not
that's not a true
They have
fact.
not come to $91 billion with all we've done in that country. They have had a systematic mismanagement of the goods and services we've sent to them. You've seen food just rotting in the ports. Their governor has done a horrible job.
The president's surrogates tend to fall in line with certainly his point of view, as we saw with the remarks from Hogan Gidley today. They're certainly fighting, back against the sense that the president doesn't care and saying he's being criticized unfairly.
We're doing what we can on an island 1,100 miles away from land, trying to help those in need. And when people take a shot at the president and try to even try to put a piece of tissue paper between him and his commitment to those people, you should think thrice about that.
The federal response has been anything but slow. In fact, there's been an unprecedented push through of billions of dollars in federal assistance.
There's a lot of good things happening. I think the president's frustration, our frustration as an administration, is that the media seems to only want to focus on the bad things.
There are certainly federal officials who are working hard to try to provide relief to the island and help the recovery efforts. But the president's own words have sort of, become the dominant storyline, and he tends to sort of thrive on sort of conflict. There's questions about, whether he views Puerto Rico as a legitimate part of the United States, which they certainly are, and whether that then trickles down to sort of how he directs his administration. The president has even said, I'm the greatest thing that ever happened to folks in Puerto Rico. He tends to sort of push forward and exaggerate.
I think Puerto Rico was incredibly successful. It hit right through the middle of the island, right through the middle of Puerto Rico. There's never been anything like that. I give ourselves a 10. Yeah, I think we did a fantastic job in Puerto Rico. We're still helping Puerto Rico.
It's difficult in any circumstance to sort of respond to this kind of a crisis, humanitarian and natural disaster that we're seeing. And it's certainly not helpful when there's a political fight going on as well. And there's questions about whether the administration really wants to be sort of delivering this kind of response or not.